It's my time, it's my season, and I've got a good reason to open my mouth. Gonna let it out, open your mind, grab your friend, hope you listen to the end. The vibe is good and learning meets on She Who Speaks.
Hi, we're back. Welcome to another episode of She Who Speaks. I'm Renee, lover of a good laugh and all things behavioral. With me are my girls, Marilyn. She's unassuming, but with a good listening ear, and Love Min, the unstoppable force with an angelic voice. Together, we are She Who Speaks, and we're so delighted to be able to do another episode, but together. Exciting. It's just been such a vibe, and it's been so exciting. Today, we're talking about something that's a little fun, but it's also serious. Tell us what we're talking about.
So ladies, lately I've been watching a lot of Instagram, TikTok, and I've come to that reflection that I'm wondering if we're not expecting too much from men. Okay, why I'm saying that, I feel like right now,
Just kidding.
There's just no.
and that's why I wanted to discuss this topic with all of us, because with the rise of mental health, I think a lot of men are more open about talking the pressure of being a man.
Mhm.
And me, while I want to have compassion, uh, that's why I want us to talk about it, because I do have compassion, but at the same time, I have some question. So I was watching, so I make some research about it,
Mhm.
and when I read some comment of men, you should read it.
Oh, this one from this.
Yes, I feel like
Yeah, this is good. Okay, so this is what it says. Life is too easy in the modern world. So women don't need men and therefore have little respect and little patience for them. Strength, protection, food, shelter, and family were of absolute importance before, but not now. So it's saying that basically strength, protection, food, shelter, and family were very important back then, but it doesn't seem to have the same weight of importance now.
so. Ladies, what do you think? Do you feel like that we're expecting too much, or we're just expecting basics?
So I had a recent little situation of my own
Okay.
with this, and I think that it's both. So if I were to just speak on my own behalf and just quite honestly, I think I do a very good job of articulating what I need.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for the most part, I'm not expecting too much, but then I can see in a more granular level that sometimes I do expect too much in like specific, and I'll give an example. So, you know how when you have children, you parent differently.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there are times that I expect my husband to parent exactly like me,
Yeah.
even though there's a big part of my brain that understands that that's not a realistic expectation,
Right.
nor should it be, because God put us together because we're different and that we each bring something different to the table. And so that's why sometimes I'm like, I think I expect a little bit too much, but it's within a specific context, but it's not a generalized sentiment for me, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, yeah. What about you, Malu?
So I don't think we
Don't worry, I have an
Wait.
article that's gonna tell
Right.
us. Don't worry. But just
I mean, first of all, I think that it's important to define maybe what are like different people have different expectations, because we all come from different backgrounds. We all come from different also religious backgrounds or values and things like that. So I'm pretty sure it can be different from a person to another. But in general, I don't think we expect too much from men. I do think that,
I think go ahead.
right? What?
Go ahead. I think
No, I do think that also to balance that it's the same for men. Like
Okay.
nowadays, you know what I'm
They
saying?
have
Like
another expectation.
there's a lot of expectation for women
Mhm.
nowadays
Mhm.
in so many areas. So I would say that according to my values, I don't think I expect I expect too much, but everybody is different.
Mhm.
And everybody has different expectations. But if I take the topic maybe a little
Mhm.
sideways,
Mhm.
I would say that that maybe
Go ahead.
You see how careful
no,
she's being?
because I'm trying to be
She's like
careful.
measuring her words.
Right, I'm trying to
carefully.
measure my words carefully. I do think that nowadays there is kind of like sometimes a double standard.
Mhm.
I'm very confusing right now, I think, in what I'm saying. I'm sorry for that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that sometimes there is a double standard that exists and I don't think it's only women. I think it's
Both ways,
it's
yeah.
it goes both ways. So I don't know if I was very clear in what I said. I said a little bit of everything and nothing at the same time. But yeah, it's still brewing in me. But basically, what I'm saying is that I don't think you expect too much if that's your vision
Or your values.
or your values of what it should be, of the dynamic that you want to have when you look for a partner, when you look for someone within your marriage. I think it's important to communicate, but I think it's also important to set, even within your couple, to set the boundaries, to set your expectations.
Mhm.
So I maybe in a general way, no, but if we go case by case individually, I don't think women expect too much from men. I don't know if I made sense.
No,
You
yeah,
let
we
me
get
know.
it. We get it.
Right. But I do think that nowadays there is sometimes that double standard and get back to
Me,
that.
I'm with you in a sense where I don't feel like I'm asking for too much because my expectation is communicated.
Mhm.
So when
Right, exactly.
so when we get together, like I make it clear, and I don't think it's that big as far as relationship. I'm expecting you to be a protector, a provider, a spiritual, like. I don't even need you as a leader,
spiritual
but
body.
just be stand on your 2 feet. Like
Right.
I'm with the Christian. I'm not like don't come with this new age stuff. I don't have time for that. That is me. This is me. So that's what I'm saying. Like that was my expectation, and that's how we connect and get together. And of course, I'm growing, so we're evolving together. So of course, your expectations are changing.
Right.
But I think in a general setting, I think. As women, since a young age, we've got like is the expectation of us how we're supposed to be as women come to us very early. Like since as soon you get your period, be careful, you're a woman. You need to behave this way. You need to handle your house this way. You're going to be a wife, so you better know how to handle the house. You better know how to do this. And I'm wondering if men had this pressure. Growing up, I wonder if they got this pressure when they get married or when they're close to get married or when they, I feel like maybe, and I'm using, for example, my household, I have a little brother and it's me and I have a sister and I can see we are
totally different.
It's totally different because I was the elder. I am the eldest, but also in the expectation, my little brother, he can do anything. He can come back at any time. He cannot come back. It's okay.
Right.
He cannot, and he cannot give us a phone call. It's okay. Me? I didn't have this life, so he's supposed to be like, he's about to be like right now, if this man is getting married, I would say no. I don't think he's ready to handle a household because he never had that pressure. And that's my example. Like I'm sure that not every man is like that, but that's where for me this topic came up because I'm wondering if that's what that's the issue.
It's interesting that you said that because I've been a part of, even recently, I feel like conversations with other couples and just different cultures. And that's something that I've heard the men say. girls are groomed for this life.
Mhm.
We're groomed for it. So you're groomed on how to cook and how to clean, and you're given dolls to play with,
Mhm.
which then you're being groomed in maternal
nurture.
skills and nurturing skills. And you're give your dad his dinner, you bring your dad, you're groomed to serve a man.
Mhm.
Boys don't get groomed for
Yeah,
nothing. They go outside, they run around. It's more of a, with due respect, it's more of a self-centered approach to life.
Right.
Yeah.
So they do what they want, when they want, how they want. And then you grow these grown-up little boys with these groomed into being somebody's mama, somebody's wife,
Yes.
girl, grown-up girls are put together to play house.
Mhm.
And then you have a female that then is, and that's why I kind of understand, I think I did understand some of why you're kind of measuring your words, because it's easy, we're talking about men, and if we expect too much from men, but it's easy to kind of go down the hole of the disparities between being a woman and being a man, because women are expected to carry the weight of the world on their shoulders, and no one bats an eye. But then if we're to be balanced, men are not groomed to be husbands.
Right.
They're not groomed to be fathers. They're not groomed to be homemakers. If anything, they're groomed to just go out there and do life and make money, and that's it.
And some of them grew up without a father, so they don't even have
They don't
Right,
have any
right,
modeling.
right. That's a very
And then
good
now
point.
they marry these women who want so much. Like,
That's
what
a
do you
very
want
good
from me?
point.
and I don't think it's too much. For me, it's a basic.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not too much, but in their mind,
Yeah.
because you weren't groomed for anything.
Right.
But now I come to you with my thoughts and my feelings, and I want help with this child
Right.
that you don't know how to take care of, because
Right.
you know.
Yeah, I have two things to kind of piggyback on what Love Min said. So I wanted to add two things. First, the first one is that I feel like I don't feel like it's so vilified to have expectations sometimes. But I think that expectations sometimes are healthy. And I don't think
Always
any
healthy.
of us expect our partner to immediately meet our expectations. But you have to set those
Grow.
so we can grow together and get to that. That's the destination that is important. So that's one of the first things, that expectations it's not always bad to have
No, it's not.
expectations. And the second thing that I wanted to say, though, to balance a little bit what we were saying, I do think, though, that society have high expectations on men.
And that's different.
And that's different. I don't think that women expect too much of men if
In the
that's
home.
in their homes, but I do think that society have high expectations for men. And that's what nowadays leads to what we know, that they need to perform, they need to do this, they need, and that's why we have so many difficulties with mental health, with like people having burnouts and things like that, and it is important to discuss that too. Then not to put that aside and say, oh no, we don't have high expectations for men, they're supposed to do that. No, we want to acknowledge that, hey, society it's hard, there's a lot of pressure on them, but on the other side, don't be surprised that as women, we do have expectations.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, if we didn't have expectation, it would be what, like, even as a relationship, what kind of relationship we are
Right,
growing.
growing, yeah.
But at
Right.
the same time, I understand, like you said, society is putting a lot of pressure, and now men are being more transparent about the weight of being a man in even a Black man. And I do have compassion, and I do want to relate to, and then that's a total different. That's a topic himself. So that's not what I'm going today, but because I do hear that pressure, that's why I wanted for us to talk about it. I found this article that says 7 ways we are overly relying on our partner. So she's given us like few tips to know if we are overly relying.
I'm all ears. Let's hear it.
Check.
Let's see.
Say it to your first
I'll keep count under the tape so no one can see how many I mean.
So finding your missing piece, meaning that you thought that your partner was going to be the missing part of you? What do you do? You think it's something?
It's a no for me because
Yeah, always or
always.
okay.
Right.
And I think part of it is how you were raised or whatever. But I think I always understood early that you don't find someone to complete you.
Mm-hmm.
You go complete or kind of complete, because who is really complete? We're all kind of messed up in some way or another. But you go as your best self and try to partner with someone who is also their best self, and together you make a combined unit. But not that like, oh my gosh, like there's a hole in my soul, there's something I need, and without you I can't breathe. No.
I think when I was like a teenager, I had that illusion. Like I thought that was what it was going to be. But before I got in serious relationship, I think I had my heart broke once. And I'm like, okay,
That's not it.
first and last. And that's why I was like, oh heck no, it's not gonna happen to me. So that's why I said for me, I had to learn that everything is not a fantasy.
Right.
What about you?
I think I had a similar experience. I do think that the fairy tale that we see is that you have someone that will come and the puzzle, something is missing in your life, and that person is just it's gonna be the perfect piece together. And there's no such thing. And you have to grow and you I don't know if you use that word, but it's not to you have to find someone that doesn't complete you, but complements.
That's it. Yeah.
That's the word. So I've learned that as an adult.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. Another one, forgetting your partner autonomy, meaning that you think that you guys are always going to be.
Okay, that's me. Okay, I believe, and I know it's not logical or sensible, but there's still a part of me that believes that space is for people that don't like each other.
Oh, that's good. That's important.
We don't need no space. Why do we need space? We don't need
Right.
space.
Where are you going?
Why me? I need my space. Like if you want me to connect with you and to like you, give me my space.
Right.
Like drop me somewhere, I'll walk by myself, I'll come back, I'm right here 100. But if like I remember at the beginning when like if you will come after work and I need a time just to unwind,
yeah.
and you come to me with all your question and like I had to learn to I am not by myself anymore. I have to entertain that.
Right.
So that was for me. It was an adjustment, and I was with someone that's like in a sense where we have to be, and I'm not like that's not my personality.
Right.
And you don't be offended. I do. I just need space.
Right.
I'm outside at the door like.
I'm more like I know that's my dad's side. Like I know that.
In terms of leading my space, I think that at the beginning, I wanted to always be in my husband's space too, as well. But I had to learn to respect that he needed his space. So I think that you have to adapt, definitely. But also the reason why for me it's special is because I came in a foreign country. So I was like clinging to him, like, so that was one of the reasons. But in general, I'm kind of like, I can be in your face. I adapt. I can be in your face if you want me to, but I can have some personal space. I'm easy. For that, I'm not too.
Okay. So another way to see if we are over relying on a partner, expecting our partner to read our mind.
Yeah.
No, I don't do that.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm too communicative, and I think that's why, if anything, I'll get in trouble. No, not get in trouble. I'll get upset if talking about expectations if they're not met because I verbalize them.
Right.
I'm not. maybe I don't, I was gonna say, maybe I don't express enough the seriousness of what I'm verbalizing. No, but I do, I verbalize them. So I think it's unkind to, or maybe I shouldn't say that, but it's not the best to try to expect people to assume what you need, even though I can understand that when you're together for a while, they should hopefully understand
And
certain
that's what I was
things.
about to say.
But yeah,
That's what I was
tend
about to say. I misspoke. So I don't expect him to read my mind, but I expect that after a certain time, by now you should know I should not have to repeat myself all the time about that. So
Yeah,
that's
I
why
agree with that.
that's what I meant when I said that I
Yeah, I
expect.
agree with that.
But yeah, I'm also a person who communicates a lot, but I expect what I want. I give you the answers to the test. Hello.
But sometimes I think we have to remember something that I'm learning. It's not because you verbalize your expectation that it's understood. That and that person that even want to meet that expectation. Sometimes we have to accept that. Like,
let me know.
you made me like this, suddenly you want to do this. I mean, okay, I heard you, it's important, but did you ever care if I wanted to do it? I have to do it because you want it. In the name of love.
Ouch, ouch, ouch.
So that's so of course you want to compromise and stuff like that, but that's something that and I know I'm too like my dad, so I'm not a good example. But I think that's something that I'm learning too. Okay, you said it. I have to do it.
Yeah.
So of course, not for everything, or there's no point. But there's maybe some
things. Yeah.
Just food for thought. All right, another one. Expecting a partner to take care of you. Care, support, nurturance are some of the sweetest aspects of loving relationship. But sometimes the way you see it is, so is it over the reality?
No, not for me. But I'm more connected with the touchy-feely things, the emotion things. Not in comparison to my husband. I'm saying as a woman, I'm more of an emotional being. So no, I think.
But I guess what I'm trying to convey is when it's become always transactional.
Oh, okay, yeah, no. No.
Like I do. You do that, so I will give you, like, if you don't give me care, I don't give you care, or things like that.
But I guess that's how you perceive care, like,
because I've done all these things, then you need to do these things for me. No, because then that's not organic.
No,
right. I don't. I mean, sometimes you do keep tab, let's be honest. But in general, that's not something that you entertain, that you nurture. Like that's not a feeling that I personally that I try to nurture. Like I don't like that. What I don't like for him to do, I don't try to do it to him. So, but as a human being, sometimes you do keep tab. I have to be real.
Yeah,
it's real, but it's not something that. Yeah, it's not something that is healthy to me. So I'm not. It's not something that I.
One time I was keeping tab, and the sermon came on that rebuked tab, so I was like so embarrassed. But it's real.
It is real. It's real. It's real.
I still struggle with it. Y'all free.
Last one, holding on to the fantasy. Like the truth is that we are human. We are all human, and we are all flawed. But our expectation, the influence. Based on our childhood or the mistake or what we didn't receive, so you really thought that this relationship, you hold like a fence.
I don't know, because my first thought when I'm saying I don't know, I was going to say I don't want to act like I grew up so hood and street and whatever, but I think. And I also don't want to generalize, but I'm just going to say what comes to my mind and understand that with all the little caveats I just gave, take it in the way that applies to you. When you grew up as an islander, your environment does not lend itself to fantasy as much. You get fantasy from watching these westernized shows on TV. So that's where my mind went before, and I was thinking, I didn't have the privilege of a fantasy, like to think that, you know, anybody's gonna ride up to save me on any kind of horse.
Mhm.
But then I'm like, but maybe that's not the fantasy that this is referring to. Maybe the fantasy is more of an internally driven thing where you think your life is gonna go a certain kind of way
Mm.
that more aligns with what you grew up seeing or thinking you could create.
Mhm.
And even if it's not working out to that way, you're still holding on hope beyond hope that it will.
Mhm.
That fantasy maybe, but not the more westernized,
Right.
like, we don't argue ever.
Mhm.
We've been married all these years and we just have everything
Mhm.
together. Our kids are the best. No, I'm not. I don't have that attitude.
Right.
I hear you. I think sometimes when you grow up like that, you also fantasize because as an escape,
True.
you know, and maybe and some people see marriage as an escape.
That's true. That's true.
They think that the marriage are going to save them from not doing the work that they were supposed to do before.
Yeah.
They get married with someone that, you know, did the work.
Mhm.
And then you get together and
Mhm.
it's not
It's
not fair.
It's not.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's not fair.
balanced
So
either.
it's not balanced, and so that's why while I was listening to you, I was like, yeah, of course, me too. I grew up with a Haitian parent, so there's no fantasy.
There's no fantasy. Like there's none.
There's no
You see
fantasy.
real life in your face
real
all the
quick,
time.
real
Yeah.
quick.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I know that also I've seen people think marriage as an escape, as their
Mhm.
and even when he was not working, holding on.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's true.
Whew. So I grew up like heavy on the princess and things like that. I'm not gonna lie. That was an escape for me.
Okay.
By
Yeah.
the way. But I think that I was blessed to have people also people around me, and my spiritual journey especially showed me that, hey, things are going to be flawed, but it's okay, you know, and God is here to put the pieces together. So for me, I still love a fantasy. I still like a
yeah, it's okay to be romantic.
right,
Mhm.
but I am also more realistic,
Mhm.
more like a work that I know that we are all a work in progress. There's no matter how much what you see on TV or what you see on the gram or whatever, there's nothing perfect on this planet. No perfection. So I think that the perfection is the work. Like the perfection is the being a work in constantly a work in progress in your relationship. As long as it's moving forward, to me that's perfection. If we can both work, if we can have the same goals and things like that. So to me, that became perfection to me, because of like that spiritual lens that I have, and that the people around me and life in general showed me that, hey, this is the perfection for you. This is what helps you grow. This is the trials that will help you become a better person. So
I can see that.
right.
So our topic was, are we expecting too much from men? Do you feel like
In conclusion,
No.
right?
Not good.
Sorry.
No.
But something that I learned is to give people grace.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes maybe in our relationship, that may be something that we have to remember. We have to give them grace.
Right.
The world is hard enough.
Right.
So when I know for me, I always want that when you come to my house, it's a peaceful environment. It doesn't mean that we won't have conflict.
Yeah, it's
Right.
inevitable.
It doesn't make that, but at least at the end of the day, when we have conflicts, the goal is to seek resolution. Just and work to, like you said, be a better person.
Right.
So I'm sorry, guys, we're not expecting too much.
We'll try to build up and not tear
Right.
down.
Exactly. I think that's very
Yeah.
important. Very important to build up. Even when we set our expectations, you said, give grace, do the work on us, and on, they do the work, but we have to do the work too.
That's what I'm about to say. I always said, model your
The
expectations.
chance.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, you said it.
if you want something,
Right.
show me the way.
Yes.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go. There you have it. There
So you
have
tell
it.
us, we share what
Right.
we thought, you tell us. Do you
Right.
think that you are expecting too much from your partner? Do you think society in general expects
Mhm.
too much from men? Jump in the comments. Men, tell us if you feel like too
Yes,
much is being
We want to hear from
expected.
you guys.
We want to hear,
Yeah.
we want to hear. This is a safe space. There will be no
Mhm.
judgment. Thank you so much for sitting in this space with us and for conversation. We love having your ear and sharing time with you. And we know your time is precious, so we appreciate that you share it with us. So as we always say, until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. We are She Who Speaks. We love you. See you soon. Bye.
On She Who Speaks.